Alright guys, welcome to another video. Before we dive right into this guys, you know the usual drill. If you're new and watching for the first time, please consider subscribing. If you're already a subscriber, make sure that you hit that notification bell guys, so then you next time you'll know the next time I post some new content. And if you did like today's content guys, smash the like button, give me a thumbs up guys, it helps me out a ton, and put some comments down below. Let's just dive right into this guys. Okay, why Andrew Tate was banned, the banning of Andrew Tate. And I'm just going to do this while I'm driving again guys, another video from the car, okay, which I'm going to be doing a lot of. Alright, so guys, if you're not aware of who Andrew Tate is, and I'll be very very surprised if you're not aware of who Andrew Tate is, right? Andrew Tate was a 5-time, I think, world-renowned kickboxer, okay, champion. He's also a multi-millionaire, okay, and he's a social media influencer, okay. So his social media influence, he wasn't that big, but he suddenly shot and grew massive, okay, over the last 1, 2, 3 years. He's got more widely. I think he was the biggest googled he was the biggest searched person on the Google search, alright. So he's a massive influencer. He's also an advocate of, dare I say the word, masculinity, okay. So basically Andrew Tate is just raw organic raw red pill guys, okay. Red pill ideology, alright, in its most rawest form. I think he's the most rawest form of red pill ideology, okay. And I'm assuming you guys that follow my channel will know what red pill is, so I'm not going to go into that. So he talks about a lot of things in his topics. A lot of his videos talk about masculinity. It talks about men in general. It talks about he has different topics. He has stuff like topics on school, topics on doing welfare, topics on making money, topics on what real masculinity is, etc, why men are weak, okay, right. So massive influencer, has a lot of influential youth watching him on his channel, right, or did have influential effect on the youth, you know, and just giving them the raw, powerful red pill truth guys that men are not aware of. And he was getting the message out there, but suddenly he is now being banned off every social media or website, alright guys. Every social media website is banned on Twitter, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, everything. So he can no longer get his message out there, okay, because he's so powerful. They banned him, alright guys. And what can you take off this guys about the banning of Andrew Tate? Okay, first of all, the banning of Andrew Tate suggests to me guys, alright, and this is my analysis and breakdown of the banning of Andrew Tate, alright, that they're afraid of the ideologies of Andrew Tate, of his message, of what he is saying. Now, in a free speech country, in a free speech world, right, if there is called such a thing as free speech, right, there is no harm whether you agree with right and wrong of somebody's opinion, right and wrong of somebody's ideology. If we are truly in a free speech and a free thinking society, okay, we should be allowed to give our opinions in a fair and knowledgeable way, okay. We should be free to discuss matters, discuss subjects, discuss ideology, right, for people to watch, and there shouldn't be any restrictions on that. There shouldn't be any bias towards that, okay. And people would then make up their minds about whether they like your content or whether they don't like your content. They can form their own opinion. So there's nothing wrong with somebody doing that. There's nothing wrong. Like you're watching my content right now, okay. You have the free will to watch my content. You don't need to watch my content. You can take on board what I say, You know, the content is free for you to have, and you can agree with it or you don't need to agree with it, okay? But I will get this content out to you to give you value, and whether you take this value upon yourself is your decision. It's free will, okay? So we should have the right as free will, especially as men, and masculinities should have the right of free will. So and saying that, okay, Andrew Tate's doing the same thing. He's given his ideologies and he's given his opinions and his life experience of what he thinks masculinity is, and his realities of masculinity, and his realities of men in general, and what men should be doing, okay? So there's no toxicity in that, guys. There's no crime in that, okay? And if you start to ban somebody on the basis of them giving an opinion or the basis of them giving your view, there is no longer free speech. There's no longer free speech, okay? Free speech does not exist, and there's a danger of that is very, very dangerous, because therefore you're restricting free speech. You are therefore controlling narrative. And Andrew Tate, this is, in my opinion, the reason they have banned him is because it's a control of the narrative. Now, if they were not afraid of what Andrew Tate had to say, if they really did believe in true freedom of speech, true freedom of ideology, freedom of free thinking, they would never have banned Andrew Tate, okay? Because they would be completely comfortable in free speech, free thinking, and people having the freedom and choice of saying what they want in an innocent, constructive way, like I speak to you on YouTube, or like I give you topics on YouTube, okay? So Andrew Tate was just doing the same thing, but this just shows they are deliberately controlling the narrative, and this is why Andrew Tate, in my opinion, has been banned, because it's penultimately down to control. They did not agree with what he's been saying. They do not agree with as an influence. They do not, to the youth, to young men out there, in terms of his ideologies on masculinity, in terms of his ideologies on men and women, in terms of his ideologies on women in general. So they just didn't agree with it. So they just decided to outright ban him. Okay, in my opinion, Andrew Tate, yes, is a bit raw. Andrew Tate, yes, just comes out and says what he says, and says it in a raw, organic way. But if you watch a lot of what Andrew Tate says, a lot of what he says actually makes so much sense. A lot of what he says is actually facts. A lot of what he actually says is raw facts, raw situations, raw facts, and raw explanations and correct explanations of dynamics of masculinity, dynamics of men and women, dynamics of weakness in society, dynamics of making money, dynamics of income, dynamics of being rich. Okay, so he states it coming from experience, and he states it in an honest way, and they did not like him stating these opinions, stating his view on things, and the way he does, because it was a real strong way of coming across. Alright, Andrew Tate can sometimes come across very controversial, but I think a lot of the time he does it for a bit of comedy as well. He does it in a comical sense, and he's a funny guy. So they were obviously very intimidated and very feared of what the message Andrew Tate was giving to the youth, the ideologies Andrew Tate was giving to the youth, and he was awakening youth in terms of masculinity, in terms of being better men, stronger men, coming to the raw chase of, don't be this way or don't be that way, don't be a wimp, don't be don't start crying, don't get into depression, things like that. He did he talked about many things, okay, in a raw and honest way, and they did not like that, because they don't want this kind of message out. They don't want the youth to be thinking this way. This is my opinion. They'd rather want the youth weak and with the narrative that serves the function. So he wasn't serving the function of the narrative of weakness, or he wasn't serving the function of the narrative of, you know, puckering up, of what masculinity is. He wasn't favouring the narrative of masculinity is toxic. He wasn't favouring the soft snowflake generation type ideology. So they decided to remove him. Okay, and this is the reason they removed Andrew Tate. This is the reason they banned him, because penultimately he does not favour the controlled narrative. Okay, he does not favour the ideologies they want, or the message you want to put across. Okay, primarily, you know, the leftist control side of ideologies, guys. So this is why they banned Andrew Tate, guys, right? It's penultimately down to control of thinking, control of ideology, control of messages, and control of free speech. If you do something like that, if you ban somebody for giving them their view, it's ultimately control. It's ultimately, if somebody can't go on, if I can't go on, whether you agree with what I say or don't agree with what I say, you have the freedom to comment on that. You have the freedom to have your view. I'm not telling you to take those views on board, but I shouldn't be banned for. Okay, that's what a comment section is for debate and discussion. You can put debates and discussions. Why ban the guy? Why not just let people discuss and debate whether they agree with them or they don't agree with them in the comment section? You know, that's what a comment section is for. But no, he's outright banned. So there's something that they were really scared and feared of in regards to Andrew Tate, that they had to ban him. This man was such a fear to such powerful media and social media companies that they had to ban him. They had to stop him speaking. So you've got to ask yourself, guys, why were they afraid of this? It's a very dangerous sign that they needed to completely shut him out, completely stop him speaking. So obviously, whatever he's saying or whatever views he's getting across is very, very threatening to them, and they've cut him off. So with that said, guys, you've got to reflect on this was down to a controlled thing. This was down to controlling and taking off views of a person, taking off views of somebody able to give their opinion and use social media in a informative way, because that's all he was doing. He was just giving his views on his life experience and giving it his informative views on masculinity and other subjects and other topics. So with that said, guys, this is my opinion why I think Andrew Tate was banned. Alright, and it's just a sad thing to see, because if you can't nowadays just give your opinion, give your views, and try and help people out and try and give people value about experiences you've had, then where are we today? So, I mean, this is what my channel is. I don't even know if what I'm saying is going to get flagged here on this video. It may get flagged. I hope not. I hope I can get out to you guys. But with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you got some value off this video, right? What do you think of it? Do you think it's a control thing? Do you think he was banned completely because he was being toxic? Do you think he was talking about toxic masculinity? Do you think he was influencing men in the wrong way, youth in the wrong way? Let me know, guys. Post some comments down below. As I say again, guys, give me a thumbs up, because it really helps the channel. It really helps the content out. And if you did watch this to the end, I'm really grateful, guys. I'm really getting the channel's growing. I'm really grateful to everybody who started to follow me. Okay, guys, with that said, guys, I'm going to end it here. Or I hope you enjoyed this one. Till the next one, keep watching. Remember that notification bell so you get the next one that I post out. And also, hope you have a good weekend. Shiraz out. We'll see you soon. Take care.